Space, the final frontier. This is a review show for Star Trek The Next Generation. Its continuing mission to explore interesting plot points, to seek out goofs and continuity errors, to boldly go where no other TNG review show has gone before. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Yay.
Yoo.
Nobody cheered.
Woo. Yoo.
Yay. Good evening,
Sorry,
everyone.
my fault. I was muting YouTube, so I didn't hear you in stereo.
Good evening. It is us. We're back with another episode of TNG for your Wednesday night pleasure. I'm joined this evening by my co-hosts, Chief Sean. Good evening, Chief. How you doing this evening?
Evening. Evening. How are you getting on?
I'm doing well. I'm now recovered from my birthday weekend, and fighting fit. Good evening, Tabbykins. How you doing, Tabby?
I'm doing good, as well as I can be.
Jolly good. I know you're tired today from little ones keeping you up, and
I got party babies.
You got party babies.
You're a bit like a bicycle, Tabby. Too tired.
Oh, I was wondering where that was going
You're
from. Never fails. And you will notice we are without our Mazza McBob, our goof girl, this evening. She's enjoying our holiday in Athens this week, so we're down a goof girl. So if anyone in chat would like to join us to talk about Identity Crisis this evening, there's a link in live chat. Please feel free to click on that link and come say hello to us. But if not, it's fine. We will soldier on. Yes. What was it? I've got my figure for this evening. It's not a question this evening, so you don't have to worry about that. But I have got a figure to show you. To guess who it is. I've got a full set of questions. So I guess we'll just dive in. Oh, say hello to live chat. Good evening, Andrew. I hope you're well this evening. I've got a new soundboard, so feel free to let me know if you can hear me okay and hear the guys okay, because I've only just plugged it all in, so I'm hoping it's working all right.
By soundboard, I thought you meant you had buttons and you press them for sound effects.
I have one of those. I have a Stream Deck, but I haven't actually set it up yet. That's coming next week.
Impressive.
Yeah. Yes. So hi Andrew, and hi Stu Plum, and good evening Ruth. I hope you're all well this evening. Unfortunately, Dan from Subspace Chatter was supposed to be taking Mazim at Bob's place this evening, but he's unfortunately had to go to the dentist today, and he's not feeling so good. So we wish him well, and we hope he makes a speedy recovery. And I'm sure he will be well enough for his. He'll be all fine for his normal podcast on Saturday.
Tavi, what time do you think he went to the dentist?
2:30.
Got him one.
Okay.
Haven't even started yet, and I got Tavi twice. Lovely. Thanks with the assist.
So, yeah, we're talking about season 4's episode Identity Crisis this evening. I did have my Geordie LaForge figure here somewhere, but
the mutated one.
Yeah, the mutated one. But I think my dog has walked off with it, so I dread to think what kind of state that figure's in now. Yeah, Chewie's gone and wandered off with it, thinking it's some kind of stick. So,
oh no!
We might have a casualty. Yeah. So yes, Identity Crisis is episode 18 of season 4, production number 40274-192. It first aired on the 25th of March, 1991. It was the 91st episode to be produced and released in TNG. The story was by Timothy Dehas. It is only TNG writing credit, but he also wrote Voyager season 1 episode The Phage.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if he came up with the idea of the Vidians or he just did this the story by as opposed to the teleplay. I'm rewatching Voyager at the moment. Vidians are terrifying. They're great. I wouldn't even say villain. Just
no, they're kind of someone to feel sorry for rather than
an antagonist.
Evil.
I wouldn't call them villains as such. Yeah.
No, they're in a bad situation.
Mm.
Yeah. The teleplay was by Brannon Braga. This was his second of the 24 episodes he had writing credits for in TNG. But this is the first episode that he wrote the teleplay by himself. It was directed by Wenrick Kolb. And it was his 8th of 16 episodes he directed in TNG, and we've talked about him in great detail.
He also did Caretaker. They trust him with the pilot of Voyager. I think he did the last episode, the one before. We're always talking about him.
We're always talking about him. He did so many.
But you know when he gives them the pilot episode of a new show, they obviously have great respect for him.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't do any of the films. I don't know.
No, I don't think he did. No. Right. So let's have a relook at the trailer. I got it. There's new buttons in StreamYard for sharing your screen. It's now the present button, and things have moved. And whenever they change anything, it always confuses me. But anyway, there we go. I got it up. Here we go.
An away team is vanishing one by one.
Whatever happened to the others is happening to me.
Susanna! A deadly virus invades the last survivors.
We've got to get that thing out of her now.
Its next victim, Geordie LaForge.
You may have weeks or very few hours.
Security! We have an intruder coming!
Metamorphosis on the next exciting episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Looks like Geordie's going to go and join the Blue Man group.
Not a very good show, though.
The The Blue Man
At
Group
least
for
this
this
version.
episode.
That would be nice. I'm immediately thinking of the Predator when I see that clear blur in the trailer.
Yes, it's very predatory. Yeah. Right, there's the picture, the first picture. So, into the teaser then. The episode. Oh, just by the way, Sean, are you ready to make note of scores?
I am, yeah.
Okay, he's on it. He's on it like a
Benefit of
car
having-
bonnet.
You'll see me turning around a lot because I've got a 3-screen setup. So yeah. So
Well, we can see you've got all your screens lined up down the bridge. Yeah.
The find is very good for when I have to turn around and do this.
Yes. Okay, the teaser. Oh, Ruth's maybe Ruth will come on next week, so not this week. Okay. So the episode starts with the USS Victory away team sensor log, where we see Geordi on a away mission some 6 years ago. The log is being reviewed in the observation lounge by Picard, Riker LaForge, and Susan Leighton. Is it Leighton?
Leighton, yeah, they pronounce it.
Yeah, Susan
But it's
Leighton.
got a J in it.
Mhm.
It's got a J in it. It must be Dutch or something.
Every time I see the name, it trips me up. So I'll be doing that.
Leighton, yeah.
I'll be doing that a lot this evening.
It is weird.
Also, attention, 2 little Easter eggs in that first opening shot. You can probably, the same one twice really. There's 2 hidden 47s. You can see
4.7. There's a 4.7.
4.7, and then you see 9754. There's a 4 and a 7 in the
There's a
Victory.
4 and a 7.
Mm.
There's a few 4s and 7s. There's a 173004. There's a 4 and a 7 there as well. Number of 4 and 7s.
Yeah, that probably was very deliberate. Yeah. Well, maybe not with the second counter because obviously it has to count through them all, but certainly the other 2 were definitely 4.7.
Just happens to stop on this point.
And it's Stardate 4.7. That wasn't a mistake.
No. Okay. It's quite an impressive set, this one, for a planet set in TNG.
And also the continuity. They have the banana phasers. Geordi has his season one visor, and they're wearing the old uniforms. So yeah, they went to a lot of effort. The continuity is really on point, and have to say, real bonus in my book for that.
The only thing they did get wrong is the tricorder.
Yeah. Okay.
The tricorder, this version didn't arrive until season 3, but apart from that,
you could argue that they released on different ships at different times, but then again, you think with the Enterprise being the flagship, it would have got it first. But who knows? Maybe
they could have been too far out.
It could have been it could have been the test version. They could be the ship that's test piloting it, and then after they tested it, the rest of the fleet got it.
Maybe.
But I'll stretch to that. But the continuity of having them put the old visor and the old uniform on, I love it. I think it's great.
It was nice.
The set in general is pretty impressive, though, with the sort of gangplank thing gangway up here, and the tunnel and all the set dressing. It is pretty impressive. Set
I think there's a small bit of forced perspective on it in terms of the size. It's probably not as big as it looks, but again, it's really impressive. It looks really real. It doesn't look like a set. It looks like a real colony. So very impressed. And later on in the season, or in the episode, Geordi walks into the holodeck, and as he walks into the holodeck, the set is there, and it's not an effect. So obviously what they did is they built it in the holodeck space or the shuttle base space, and that when he walks into the holodeck as a holodeck simulation, it's already on. So they set it up perfectly. So a great bit of forward planning by the production team to think of that ahead of time to build it on the shuttle base set.
Yeah, I did like it also in this scene. I don't know if anyone follows the filmography. They actually changed the lighting setup for this entire episode. And it was because later on in the episode, you're going to see some effects that they're using, but it also adds to the eeriness of this deserted colony on the planet. And that was just lovely shooting, I thought.
Good stuff. So yes, Leighton. She was the leader of the away team. The USS Victory was investigating the disappearance of 49 colonists from an outpost. But question number 1, what outpost were they investigating? Where are we here? Was it A, Cestus 3, B, Epsilon 9, C, Tarkanan 3, or D, Outpost 23. I will put all those into chat so you can mull them over at your pleasure. Sorry, it takes out the spaces. Cestus 3, Epsilon 9, Tarkanan 3, or Outpost 23. That's your question 1. And next picture. So, the other members of the Victory away team, Breville, Mendez, and Hickman, have now deserted their posts. Without any warning, a Federal supply ship has spotted Hickman's stolen shuttle and it's heading back to the outpost. Lighton and the Forge are the only two remaining crew members of the Victory away team that have not disappeared. And that
we already know that we already know Dr. Soong's dead, so there's no homing devices being activated.
No, that's right.
So.
They're not androids.
Disappointing.
Yeah, so that was the end of your teaser. See, that was quite quick, wasn't it? That was a quick teaser this evening.
That was so nice.
And I've got no goofs to from Mazza McBob, so we'll go straight into answering the question from question 1. What outposts were they investigating? Cestus, Epsilon, Tarkanan, or Outpost 23? What do you say, Tavi?
Oh no, I was just looking. I was making sure that everyone is answered. So yeah, we got everybody so far.
And what was the answer?
I think everyone got the same answer.
Yeah.
Tarkanan 3.
Yeah, it was.
Cestus 3, that was the one the Gorn destroyed, wasn't it?
Cestus 3 is in Deep Space Nine.
That's I always get mixed up between those two. Yeah, that's the one where Cassidy Yates' brother plays baseball. Is it not the same place? It might be.
It's the same place.
Yeah.
It's the same place. It's Gorn, yeah.
Yeah, the Gorn, the TOS crew went there, and the Gorn had killed everybody on it. But then later on, it was Cassidy Yates' brother would live there after the Gorn had been there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
so you see some bokats.
Epsilon 9 was an outpost space station that got killed by V'ger in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh yes.
I haven't seen that one actually. I want to see the one with V'ger in it.
Have you not seen the motion picture?
It's a good 40-minute film. 40-minute episode that's just absolutely jam-packed into a 2-hour 15 runtime.
Yeah, it's worth seeing though. I personally love it, but it does have some really boring bits. I'd like to see the director's cut. There's a new, HD'd or 4K. It's a new 4K.
Yeah, there's a 4K release on Paramount Plus,
release.
or Blu-ray, yeah.
What I'd like to see. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, go on, Tavi, sorry.
Does anyone remember the vault that they locked V'ger in? I can't remember. Maybe it was on Star Trek Online. They mentioned that Starfleet actually has a vault that they lock all these really dangerous things in, but I can't find
the
enough.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I remember someone else's channel brought it up, but this guy usually does Star Trek Online, but I thought maybe you guys would know, because that is supposedly where, if Lore has actually survived, that's where he's locked up. He's not at the Daystrom Institute. He's actually in the vault with the rest of the extremely dangerous AI.
Well, we know Brent is back in the new season of Picard, and we don't know what role he's playing. He could be Altan Sung, he could be Lore, he could be Noonien Sung, he could be Data, he could be the whatever the guy he played from our time. He could be a lot of people. So we'll find out.
I desperately hope it's not Lore.
Well, we'll see.
He's too good of a character to use as a pop-up villain, and they've already used him that way in like the end of season 6 and start of 7. So I think it would be a very cheap shot if they brought back Lore when they know in the end, this is the end of Picard, that they're just going to be like, oh, here's Lore in we're gonna win and it's gonna be over, I would be
Well, he could.
totally pissed.
Well, if I was bringing lore back, I would think with the collapse of the Romulans and the way he treated the Borg, he might do something similar. And he'd be in charge of some Romulan outpost that wants to bring the Empire back. wearing "Make Romulus Great Again" hats or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they hate androids, so I think his number one thing, and they
No, not everyone hates androids. Just that particular cult hates androids.
yeah
I forget the name. I was going to say Vash Narada, but that's Doctor Who. I can't remember what they're called.
the Zatvash.
Zadfash, that's it.
I don't know. I don't know if you do that. And I honestly think the Romulans stole B4, and for all we know, they also got a hold of the. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Ruth said that Star Trek 1 is really boring, and she's right. It is really boring, but it's worth seeing once. It's got a lot of things that are reused in TNG, and a lot of things that TNG inherited from it because they were both kind of spawned from Phase 2. So it's kind of worth seeing from just an historical point of view, if nothing else.
Even the Phase 2 warp core is the one that Voyager uses. A lot of that stuff's continued on for decades to come.
Yeah, I mean the engineering section built for that was then used in Star Trek 2, and then was reused as the TNG engineering
and again a Voyager.
Voyager engineer. It's all the same set. With a lift in exactly the same place. But yeah. And also, Ruth said, yes, everyone in the Sung family all look like Brent Spiner. I know, it's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely delicious.
Well, it's genetic engineering. We know they're genetic engineers, so that's not a problem. It's clearly done on purpose.
Yeah.
I would think that, that would be obvious. I wonder if they'll actually bring that up in number 3, because one of the famous fan theories is that they're all clones anyway.
Right.
But yeah, or whatever. I'll talk too much about the songs. You should probably take this advantage to keep going on.
Okay. So congratulations to everyone for answering C and getting that one right. Sean's going to give you some points, so well done.
Yeah. How many?
I'll leave how many you want to give each question up to you, Sean.
Okay, grand. So, we'll start with 20. Right.
We've got points to give away, so don't feel you have to spare. We're rich with TNG points. We are.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
I go.
1 point. The last question is worth 99 points.
Yeah.
No. What was the start date of the episode? No. Okay. We'll go with a standard 10 points. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Act 1. The Enterprise is set course in pursuit of stolen shuttle. In 10 forward, LaForge and Leighton reminisce about their days on the Victory. It's how many women LaForge's had drinks with in 10 forward that ended up with that sort of look.
Oh my God.
Leighton mentions how she almost married Paul Bogro, a man she could barely stand. LaForge tells her how he enjoys the bachelor life too much to settle down. Apparently,
imagine having to go to school and being called Bogro, for 5 years.
He had a tough time in Starfleet Academy, didn't he?
Yeah, here, Bogro.
Leighton says,
I don't know if you. I was just gonna say I don't know if Tavi calls it bog roll, but I'm fairly sure she knows what it is. Sorry.
I got the implication.
Yeah.
Toilet paper?
Yeah, there you go.
Well done. Yeah. Apparently she used to give him advice on women, and he says she was a great advisor. Really?
That explains why he's so hopeless and just generally short-tempered with people and very disagreeable.
Yeah.
And so never really believes anyone.
We got to question her on her questionable tactics. Because that stuff with Leah Brahms was like hashtag me too. That was a creepy episode.
Yeah. So anyway, then Riker calls LaForge and Leighton to the bridge as they have gotten a fix on the missing shuttle. Good news. On the bridge, the helmsman of the week tells us we have entered the Takanan system. They hail the vessel, but they don't get any response from Hickman. But question number 2. Here, we see the shuttle on screen, but what type of shuttle is it? Is it A, Class F, B, Type 7, C, Type 6, or D, Type 15? What type of shuttle is that? Class F, Type 7, Type 6, or Type 15? Do you know your shuttles?
You made this hard for me. Oh my gosh, I gotta guess.
I've put in an educated guess.
I usually go with C or multiples of 3, and you just kind of messed this up for me. Because you spread the 3s out. Can you put up the answers so I can just eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Here you go. This is the answers here for you.
You're welcome also to send me the answer in private chat.
Slide into our DMs there, Monty.
I'll just, here you go. Hang on a minute. How do you do this again? Private chat. There we go. And there you go.
It's sorry, Ruth. It's much harder to remember, like, you know, Type 7, Type 15. You know, it's remembering like the Voyagers and Intrepid just sticks in my head for some reason. But like, which one's a 15 and which one's a 7? And yeah, it's much harder.
Now, Tavykins is wondering if what I've just put in private chat is right or whether I'm having her on.
Oh no! I already made my guess. So I've got my personal guess, and I already feel that it's wrong, but I want to stand by it.
Okay. So yes, this shuttle here, what type is it? Okay, so moving on, whilst we're getting some... Oh, no, didn't want to do that. That wasn't it. That was not it, Chief. You'll like this picture.
You'll like this, but not a lot.
Yep, you'll like it. Not a lot. There he is.
There's
your boy.
Ooh, I'm loving this one a lot. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Daniels. What was he called? The magician.
Paul
Daniels. It was there in my head. I got the reference.
I couldn't remember what it was from, actually, but yeah, Paul Daniels.
No
longer with us, but anyway.
Data determines that if the shuttle stays at that speed and heading, it will burn up in the atmosphere in around 57 seconds. Then try to get a transporter locked, but they can't. It doesn't work. Time's running out, and it blows up in the atmosphere. Worf, though, finds 2 more shuttles on the surface, probably belonging to the other 2 Victory crew members. There's our Riker. Riker forms an away team of himself, Data, Worf, Geordi, and Light, and requests to go along, which Riker agrees. So they beam down to the planet. On the planet, as they beam down, we get this really long shot. It's really nice and atmospheric, but it goes on. I recorded how long it was, and it was 40 seconds long. This panning shot going past the shuttle.
If I paid that much to create an external looking set like that, I would be doing some beauty shots. That's the whole motion picture. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
That's right.
Like a 6-minute shot of the shuttle. It's like, we spent money on this. You're going to watch it. Tough.
That explains the quarter of an hour of beauty shots of the Enterprise in the motion picture.
Not crazy on the cheap fluorescent lights they have in the shuttle, but anyway, other than that, it's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful set that they built for this week. They were saving all that money from those bottle episodes to make this.
Yes. Here we go. I just want to show that. They split up and they search about. Leighton finds some tracks leading away from the shuttle, though Data detects no signs. Worf is convinced he is being watched. Geordi finds some torn uniform in the shuttle, and they realise Leighton has disappeared. I did have my Geordi figure as the alien here somewhere, because I checked, and his little figure does have like long feet with 3 toes.
Where they made him fully functional. Fair play.
Yeah, they made him fully functional. So
Because most of the figures, they're the same body model, and they just changed the head in most cases, to save money. But obviously they had to sculpt an entirely new one for that figure, which, considering it probably wouldn't have sold that well, is quite an expense to go to.
and now it's been
Yeah.
chewed up by Chewie somewhere in my house.
Or they probably got an existing one and put putty on it. But even then, they say there's a big cost in doing that.
Yeah.
You gotta
As I
create
said,
another mold.
most of the figures, they're all the same size. Like Geordie LaForge is 5'8", and Riker is 6 foot. But like the models, the figures are all the same height and all the same body proportions for the most part.
Ruth, all the shuttles Ruth knows is the Rio Grande and the Delta Flyer.
Well, the Rio Grande is a noob class, and it's not a shuttle. It's
It's
a
a
runabout.
runabout,
Runabout is a starship, and the Delta Flyer, well, although it's the size of a runabout, is considered an ancillary aircraft, and I guess it's called Delta Flyer class or Delta class, whatever you want to call it.
Hi, Dan.
First.
I hope you're feeling. You're feeling
Dan!
better.
Dan. Sorry, Dan. You must hate that.
Hey. So yes, where were we? Oh yes, Lighton's just disappeared, hasn't she? She's wandered off. Where has she gone? And they find her. Geordie finds her, and she's convinced she has found the missing crew. She can feel them somehow, and she wanders off. But Geordie then wrestles with her and gets her beamed up in a medical emergency to sick bay. I thought it was a bit like all she did was like I can feel them, and started wandering off, and he kind of just sort of grabbed her, and I don't know how he knew there was something tragically wrong.
I actually like that about this scene, because you see in so many episodes where somebody starts acting weird and wonky and everyone's
They
like,
don't notice.
oh, but I'm like, they're best friends and they know that something's going on. So I did like it that the second she started acting weird, she gets like grabbed, like, he addresses it. Like, if my best friend saw me acting weird, it would at least be you okay?
Yeah, and
You
like
alright?
any horror film you ever watch, they go, "Let's split up." Like, why are you splitting up? If all six of you
Don't
just
do
sit
that.
in the one room, you're all safe.
Yeah,
No, let's all split up in ones and twos so we can get attacked. That makes perfect sense.
yeah.
It's easier. They're very thoughtful people.
Here you go, Dan. Just for you. Where were we? Oh, there you go. The last question was, what type of shuttle is this shuttle in this picture here? Is it Class F, Type 7, Type 6, or Type 15? A, B, C, or D? So I don't know if you want to give that a go. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm gonna give Dan the benefit of the doubt on the first. Oops, not that one. The first question, because yeah, he would have got it. Okay.
What about Panko?
he's just giving the points away this evening. Sean's going
Is
low.
Panko in the chat? Is Panko in the chat?
Yeah.
Did you not hear me scream, Panko?
Goes here.
I just thought you were baking. Okay, sorry. Where did Panko come in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she's out. You'll get to see my nutty logic, Dan, if you're unsure. And I avoid anything that has to do with 7, because I had an experience in Las Vegas. So lucky 7, I stay away from.
So looking back at the answers,
Over my shoulder.
I think we've got Sean said C, Stupum said C, Supreme Panko said C, Tavona said D, Ruth said B, Andrew said C, and Subspace Chatter Dan says B. And the
3
answer
C's,
is
2 B's, and a D. Yeah.
the answer is B. It's a Type 7 shuttle. Yes.
Okay, Ruth and Dan. Okay.
A Type
And it would've been
6.
lucky
I don't know.
7.
I don't know if you can see, but a Type 6 is like that shuttle there that's on my shelf behind me. Maybe if I make
Not
myself
really.
Big. Maybe if I make myself big. Can I make myself big? I don't know. Can you
Oh,
make that,
yes.
Make that out there. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Type 6. So that would be a C. Yeah. But that one's a Type 7. So well done, anybody that said B. And
Okay. And
yeah, you can hardly see it on there. Okay, so moving on. Whilst Sean's working out what's what.
yeah, Ruth and Dan are in the front. Yeah, 12 points for the second round. Why not? We'll just go up in twos.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 24 for Ruth and Dan, and 10 for the rest of us. Or 22, sorry, and 10 for the rest of us.
Rocking into.
Did they give shuttles names as well?
They
yes,
do, yeah.
yeah. So quite often the Enterprise shuttle's called Galileo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Elbaz.
Elbaz.
They're named after astronomers. There's a theme most of the time. Like the Titan in Lower Decks, they're all named after jazz musicians because Riker loves his jazz. Yeah, so there's
The
kind of
runabouts
things
are always rivers.
are
Earth
always rivers. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they tend to stick to a theme when depending on
Yeah.
what their main base of operations.
Yeah.
Although runabouts are considered starships in their own
Whoa!
right, whereas they're not shuttles.
Yeah.
We got Mickey and Karen in the house tonight.
Oh, good evening, guys.
Mickey, Karen, how are we?
Wait, doesn't Mazza call Karen Cass?
Kaz, yeah, Kaz and Maz.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
now you have to fish up some more still shots with Picard in it, okay? 'Cause you have
Okay,
to
I'll
please both of us ladies.
I'll try to put up some Picard pictures. Yeah.
There we have some crucial shots of the
Oh, and Maz.
random liquids.
Oh, Maz so we're spanning quite a number of countries now this evening.
Yeah, we've gone proper international.
International, from Canada to Athens
Mm.
via Scandinavia.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Act 2. Lyden wakes up in bed in sickbay. Dr. Beverly reports that her blood chemistry is off. She's had a histamine response to something she can't identify. Lyden feels compelled to return to the surface, but Crusher orders her to stay on the Enterprise until she can find out what's wrong. Lyden protests, but Picard confirms the order, telling her that she has to complete the survey of the surface and analyze the data, and this will keep her busy.
Tavi would be the one. That's Tavi's job.
Yeah.
What's that?
Analyzing the data.
Anna. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, I
do.
flubbed that line the first time, but we got there.
Walking in the corridor, Lyden is agitated that they're not going down to the surface straight away, but then she realizes that her hands are shaking. They're shaking really uncontrollably, and is now worried that the same thing that happened to the rest of the away team is actually happening to her too.
Yeah, I believe she's also sweaty. Arms are heavy. Knees are weak. Mom's spaghetti. Vomit on her sweater already.
Yeah. On the bridge, I'm just ignoring him now. On the bridge, Data's found on the bridge. Have we got Data? There we go. We got Data. See, I'm trying to put in those Data pictures for you there, Tavigans. On the bridge, Data's found alien skin cells in the clothes Geordie recovered from the shuttle, and the footprints don't match anything on record from the planet below. He tells them he will work with Dr. Crusher to see if they can find any match on any other life form. They're going to go through the database. You'd think Data could just go like that, you know, when he just goes, I'll just check.
Do you see the?
And then,
Yeah.
You'd think he'd have enough of it in his brain. You know, like the entire Wikipedia, like if in text form, is only about 5 or 8 gigs or something. So, you know, like in text form, obviously there's images and videos to make it bigger. So you think he'd have the text version of the database in his head, but
Just-
you know, he still has to go there and type it in.
footprints that look like that, you should
No.
just be able to look at it and go, no.
We all know. Sorry.
Also, the HD shot doesn't do Brent's makeup any favors there. You can clearly see where his makeup's rubbing off the collar of his shirt.
I think you're being a bit judgmental. He looks absolutely delicious. And secondly, he's going to save that space in his head because he has to keep his directory of the multiple techniques. So that's where the space goes.
I was watching on YouTube a panel with Brent Spiner, and he was telling the story how he did a day of makeup, and they put him through 35 different makeups. And they went for Gene for approval, and they showed him the first one. He goes, "Yeah, that's it, perfect." And he never looked at another one. But it's just as well he went with the yellow because it matches the yellow of the shirt, so that rubbing and stuff wouldn't be as obvious. But in HD, that you stopped on the shot, I see it straight away. I was like, "Yeah, they never touched it up."
It doesn't.
No. I can't see it actually. Hold on, my screen is a bad messed up, but I'm always wondering what were the other colors.
He might have been blue. They
He
seem to like
mentioned
blue. They
he
like blue.
mentioned
in
there was
Star
a
Trek.
pink one.
There is some footage of them doing makeup tests that you can see on YouTube. Standing there, and like Geordie has a jerry curl and stuff, and it's bad. But yeah, they only basically Gino never saw one, and he was happy.
Yes, the big goodbye. We had a little look at those pictures of Gene Roddenberry as a parrot. It's because his nickname was supposedly the Great Bird of the Galaxy or something. So they made him a bird. Yeah.
Yeah, they've referenced that in the show a few times. Have various big great birds in lower decks, most recently.
Yeah. So we're in a turbo lift. Geordie and Lighton decide to go through the old mission records again to see if there's something in common that they've experienced, or they all touched, or they all, brushed past that might be affecting them now. So while they're doing that, Data goes to sickbay to work with Dr. Crusher on trying to find the three-toed sloth. The doc asks Data if he's worried about Geordie, but Data reminds her that he's an android and he doesn't feel that way. He does concede, though, that he is strongly motivated to solve this problem. Here's a bit of a tougher question for you. Question 4.
Okay.
The laptop-like device...
Question 4.
Question 4, yeah. It was a question 3.
Oh.
No, sorry, question 3.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Question 3.
Yeah, you had my heart going. I was like, did I miss a question?
Number
okay,
3.
go for it.
No, there you go. The laptop-like device that Data's using here isn't Beverly's normal screen that she has on her desk. But which episode did we originally see this prop?
I know.
Is it A, Best of Both Worlds Part 2, B, Family, C, Brothers, or D, Suddenly Human?
They're your brothers, Data. Brothers forgive.
That is the most painful line that I'd ever listened to, and I'm like, oh.
If you ever see Red Dwarf, and you should, there's a scene where two mechanoids meet each other, and one is an addict and has problems, and the other one has to carry him after he dies. And he goes, "You want a hand with him?" And he goes, "He ain't heavy. He's my brother."
He's my brother.
Oh no.
Red Dwarf is a science fiction comedy, so yeah, it's played for laughs. But yeah, watch Red Dwarf when you get a chance.
It's this the laptop thing here that Data's tapping on and looking at.
And you can see he's left-handed there. You can see he's clearly dominating with the left.
Yeah. This is the second time we've seen this prop. Actually, technically, it's the third time we've seen this prop. But which episode did we first see it? Was it in
the
laptop,
laptop,
Part 2, Family, Brothers, or Suddenly Human?
The laptop, Dan.
Yeah, the laptop. Okay. Hopefully you've all had a good look at that laptop thing.
Just a little, hold on, just a little longer. Give me a second.
Burning it into your psyche.
Shola.
Yeah.
There
That's coming up in a couple of episodes.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's 3 or 4 or something like that. Yeah. It's not. It's not far away.
Why aren't you loading Right, there we go. Okay, so we're back in engineering. They're going through the away mission logs when Leighton starts getting anxious. And she wants to get back to the planet. She gets frustrated and goes to run off. But when Geordie calls her name, she sort of snaps, turns around and collapses. And her hands have turned into alien hands. The metamorphosis was instantaneous because she literally grabbed him 1 second, ran off, turned around, and her hands went from looking like they are there in that shot there to looking like that.
That's a bit quick. But if you just go back a shot, just a shot previous, you can't see it in that particular shot of it, but there's like a kind of, I suppose, a test screen, you might call it, and it like says what the graphic is, and it says Star Trek: The Next Generation on it, and what graphics being played, so people know to load the right tapes. And there's like 2 or 3 seconds of it saying Star Trek: The Next Generation, and there's a frame or two where you could see it visible in the original production of the episode.
Oh.
So yeah, there was a minor goof there.
So did they correct that in the
That I didn't check, but Michael Kuda basically said, "Hey, look, you see it for a second. It's, you know, all the tapes had it, but for some reason that was one of the few times he got it."
Yeah.
Okay. Roots said C. Subspace said A.
Okay. I'm just sorting something out. There we go. So we're looking at the hands. There. So yeah, I just thought like for them to have transferred instantly to these nails, and I mean that would have been a hell of a painful process, I would imagine, for it to change that much instantaneously.
Maybe itchy.
Maybe itchy. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, question 3 then: the laptop device using data is using in Beverly's office, not the normal one. Which episode did we originally see the prop? Best of Both Worlds, Family, Brothers, Suddenly Human, A, B, C, or D? The answer was B.
Hold on. I was going to ask you. I was going to say, but I didn't have 3 answers in. Okay.
Oh, it was B. It was B, Family. So anybody? I don't think anybody did say B. So it's going to be pretty.
I did know the answer, so I'm going to give, but I didn't put it in the chat because I literally said I know, and then I said I can't put it in.
You forgot to put it in chat.
Yeah, I did know because I looked it up before the episode, but yes, okay. Anyway, yeah.
Panko, you were not extremely wrong. All answers referring to data are always right in some space.
It was made
never
for
go
this.
wrong with the D.
It was made for this scene when he was offered the when Picard was offered the role of, like, I don't know, raising up a new continent or something.
Yeah, Atlantis. Yeah, the new
Atlantis.
Atlantis, I think they were calling it.
Yeah. So it was created for that, but then it's used a number of times, and I think the next time we see it, it's a Klingon laptop in Unification Part 2.
It does fit the Klingon aesthetic. It's quite bulky and clunky, which should be.
Yeah, they did use laptops all series long, but that's the only time they used this particular prop, Dan. So yeah, that was the.
Yeah, they normally use the kind of disc-shaped ones. You know, they have the kind of.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of
kind of
semicircle clam-shaped time thing at the bottom.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and the screen attached, and that was her normal one. But they felt it was too small for them to both work at, so that's why they used this prop that they had. Right, so that was Act 2. Onwards and upwards to Act 3. Here we go. In sick bay, Lighton is in a bad way. Her conversion to being an alien is progressing. Oh, well, he doesn't like my questions. Thanks, Dan. He left her susceptible to light. Geordie tries to comfort her.
Dan, if you read your Ex Astra Ciencia and Memory Alpha on the episode before it comes up, you'll probably find a few of them. I just knew it from as I read it.
Well, I like to give some like really easy ones for those that what so they can answer, and then some tougher ones for those that read the deep things. So Beverly reports that her skin matches the alien skin that Data found in the uniform on the planet. So she realizes that they're not tracking aliens, they're actually tracking the away team who have metamorphosized. Yes. Into these aliens. And, Geordie could have weeks or he could have hours. I noticed you can see his zip. You don't usually see the zips on the back.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of black, like a black marker, and you could easily just cover that up. Why are they leaving silver zips around the place? Right in the shot.
I don't know. So yes, he could have weeks. He could have. Picard allows the Forge to continue his investigations because originally they want him to stay in sick bay, but he needs to get on with work.
And
But
of course, they leave him completely unsupervised on his own, wandering around the ship.
unsupervised, yes,
It's
just
like,
wandering around sick bay.
'Cause
wandering
earlier
around
on,
the
it's
ship.
like, "Oh, Olin, you're being a bit weird. Let's beam you straight to sick bay and confine you." "Oh no, I'll just keep walking around. It's fine. I'm just a ticking time bomb that can go off. It's
no
perfectly all right."
wingman.
What could possibly go wrong with that strategy? It
Woo!
Oh, his makeup lines again.
Yes.
oh,
I want to pull that collar down and
yes,
see them
that's just
lines.
his
You
neck.
talking about,
That's just his,
Sean?
I think that's
That
just his
is
neck.
that. I think
Yeah, just yeah. Makeup person was having a bad day.
In engineering, Geordie is still looking into the logs when Data arrives to check on his progress. Geordie says he's tried it all, but he's got nothing. Data suggests rest and offers his assistance, but Geordie doesn't even know what he's looking for, so says he'll be fine.
Him and you two have that in common.
Back in sick bay, Lighting's condition is worsening. It's getting worse quicker. Nurse Ogawa points a light at her skin. The skin simulates the light and reflects it back. She's also producing some kind of field, which means Beverly can barely pick up any life signs because her scanners can't break through it. It's worse than that, Jim. The rate of metamorphosis is increasing. But we see Nurse Ogawa here for, I think, the third time. This is the third episode she's been in. So question 4, what is Nurse Ogawa's first name? Is it
bugger? I know this.
Is it A,
Go on.
Alyssa, B, Alicia, C, Alice, or D, Alison?
Alice?
Who the... Yeah.
Who's that?
Who's
It's
that?
Alex.
There's your
24 years I've been living next
Is
door
it-
to Nurse Ogawa.
Alyssa, Alicia, Alice, or Alison? So, yeah, what's...
Okay, yeah,
Nurse
I think that.
Ogawa's-
Okay, so we have Dan, we have Panko.
It's working out.
Stu.
Thank you for working this out today, Sean. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I have a newfound appreciation for Mazza when you're trying to fill it in. Keep an eye. It's actually harder than it looks. It's
She makes it
You're-
look easy, doesn't she? You know.
she does it professionally. I mean, I work with Excel every day, although this is LibreOffice Calc because I'm cheap, and so I can't figure out what the sum function is called, so I have to manually type up the numbers, but that's not that complicated.
Yep, you're doing well.
Tavi, Ruth, and Andrew, we need an answer.
Yes, it was kind of like
I already answered.
Did you? Where?
Above.
Oh, you did.
subspace.
Sorry.
A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabby Kins answered A. So
Oh, Tavi said I. Okay.
Geordie in engineering spots an errant shadow in one of the playbacks. And
Ruth
to
did write
get a
it.
better
Bugger, I'm
understanding of what that might be, he transfers it to holodeck 3 and goes and enters the holodeck. Though as he does so, he starts to realize that his hands are shaking as well. And now
And like a smart lieutenant, he goes right into sick bay because that's what happened to his friend.
Or does he completely ignore it and just carry on with his day?
No.
But,
I think it's strange that they don't think that this metamorphosis is affecting their decision-making skills. That's completely idiotic of them. Oh, by the way, guys, what are y'all drinking? I got a lemon radler tonight. My beer soda juice.
ooh, ik liebe den lemon radler.
Mm.
Aldi Pinot Noir.
I have an empty glass. 'Cause I forgot
Yeah,
to get
they-
myself
Oh,
a drink.
Yeah, you
Smiler,
can't get-
where is she?
Oh, there's no
You-
Smiler this evening.
You can't get a bottle for less than $7.25 in Ireland anymore. They did this minimum pricing thing. It's annoying.
Oh,
Hmm.
that
Of all
sucks.
things?
Yeah. I think we've lost Andrew because we're not getting anything out of him. So
Oh, well.
Andrew, my lovely, please
Never
come back. I
mind.
promise to flirt more.
also, Mazza, if you asked us the last question, I didn't get it, but you didn't say that you got it
It's
right.
above
so
mine.
I'm assuming you didn't.
It's above mine. Ruth, Mazza, and I.
No,
are
no,
above
the current question, the last question I'm asking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she didn't come
Nurse
back and say,
Ogawa?
hey, I
It's-
got that right, so I'm assuming
it's
she
fine.
didn't.
You can only just add up what you can find, Chief. Don't worry about it.
What?
And yeah, so his hand's shaking, and no, Tavi, I see he's not got onset of Parkinson's disease. That's not what it is. Okay, so the answer to the question then, question 4. What is Nurse Ogawa's first name? Was it
Alyssa?
Alyssa? That's it. Alyssa, Alicia, Alice, or Alison? Stu Plum says
Yeah.
W. No. It was A. Alyssa. So anybody that said
Yeah.
A, well done, Dan. Well done, Tavana. Well done.
And her real name
Ruth
is like
and Maz and Karen.
I'm gonna try and get this right. Her real name is Patty Yagasutka or something like that.
Yagasuka, yeah.
But it's just like weird. Patty Yagasutka, like you didn't. It doesn't match. Anyway.
No, I guess not. No.
Okay.
But there is a thing in Asia, at least I think in Korea and Japan, where they have their given names. You can tell me if this is completely wrong, Panko, but they have their regular Asian descendant name, but then they choose like a Western sounding name, kind of like their extra name on top of it, and I think that's what she might have done there.
Mm.
So, oh,
Yeah.
cultural thing.
I know my daughter has a friend who's of Chinese descent. She's called Yu Hong, and her brother and sister were born after they moved to England. So the 3 siblings are like Yu Hong, George, and Alison.
Love it. 16. Okay, 26. Grand.
Yeah, it's not milkshake. No, definitely not.
Do you see any boys in his yard?
No, the milkshake doesn't bring the boys to the yard.
Yes.
Okay, so Act 4. Picture. There we go. So Geordie's now in the holodeck, and he's got the computer to extrapolate where each of the away team is from the log, and then removes the team members one at a time, and eventually there's one shadow remaining. Unfortunately, that shadow doesn't appear to have an owner. So he gets the computer to reconstruct the object and recreate the shadow. And the computer creates this. Now, when I first watched this, when I was a teenager, it sent shivers down my spine, this scene. Like,
Yeah, it's a fair
That creeped
creepy,
me
all right.
out. It was the first time I got truly creeped out when I saw TNG. Like, holy shit!
yeah. It was like, just imagine, like, you're there living your life, going about your day, and there's this thing, this unknown thing, stood there watching over you. It's like, whoa.
I don't know. It's there the whole time. I don't know if anyone is appreciating this holodeck experience, and anyone who's watched Little Britain might do this. But in summary, the entire time Geordie's trying to put this information in, the computer is constantly saying no.
Computer says no.
Computer says no.
Computer says no.
It's just to me, because he's just not getting those parameters in.
Oh, I'm surprised you got a Little Britain reference. That's yeah,
Ugh, I love Little Britain.
Well, there was Little Britain USA as well, so that
Was
is
it?
also.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see, I just saw it from the beginning. I saw it when I got to Norway. That and the comedian Tracy. Oh my God, I cannot get over her skit where she's like, "Would you like a gooseberry and cinnamon yogurt?" Through the entire skit, she says the entire name of this posh yogurt to the kids, and everyone repeating it just to exacerbate how fancy they are. And I love Tracy's different characters. Anyway.
Anyway. Subspace, that's interesting because I have gone through I've got a new Rode soundboard I've just installed. So if you say we're not coming out to let me know, and I can up some levels. We are near maxing out, and according to my levels, they are near max. So
You're fine. You're fine coming through StreamYards. Hold on.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try.
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
I'll just put everything up to max, and I mean everything's in the red now. But yeah.
I just took mute off the YouTube, and I can't see a difference in the levels between StreamYards and YouTube, so I'm not quite sure.
Don't know. But I don't know if I can make it any louder than that. We'll see. I don't know if I can make it any louder. We'll see. I've turned it up to max, but
what's the name of that Formula One driver, Nicky?
Louder.
What's the name of that Formula One driver?
Yeah. Very good.
Tommy had to mute herself for that one. Sorry, everyone.
I love these sorts of corny jokes, guys. I'm very sorry. I just don't know what it is, but they really make me laugh.
Yeah. There you go. Hopefully that's better. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
thanks,
the chat seems to be in agreement. It's a bit better, yeah.
Thanks, Subspace, for pointing that one out. Right. I've completely forgotten where I was. Oh yes, you're just getting to the nub of
creepy
the
shadow.
Creepy shadow thing.
The moonlight shadow, yeah.
But when this thing appears, the computer recreates it. Geordie then collapses, and we can see that he too now has webbed fingers. Roll.
And yet he does not press his communicator or anything. And like, can y'all beam me up?
Well, at that point, his instincts have taken over. But why isn't there a security officer walking him around the place? That's just not a thing you do.
Or even better, Data, because he can't be infected by this thing that they're constantly saying they don't know what it is.
Yeah, fair point. Why isn't Data on his tail everywhere he goes?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd think, as his friend and that, he would be, just
enough with the Data LaForge fan fiction. But yes, I would have always wanted Data on my tail.
Yeah.
Well,
my God.
All I'll say is Geordie seems to have no problem interfacing with Android devices.
But look, we've got to get Geordie back down on the planet,
God.
haven't we? And escaping. So we've got the plot's got to happen. So back in sickbay, Dr. Crusher's found a parasite in Lighton's immune system. That's converting her DNA to its own. They're going to need some unaltered genes to get her back. And we see Martinez bringing this scanner around. But question 5.
Oh, I already know the answer. Go on.
He already knows the answer. So Martinez is wheeling this brain injection looking piece of kit around. But which episode was this instrument originally featured?
I'm not gonna put it in the chat because I said I know it. Sorry, go on.
There seems to be a bit of a theme in my questioning this evening.
I'm so sucky with these, and I've researched everything else.
Sorry.
Did you look at Ex Astra Scientia?
Was it A, Skin of Evil? It wasn't actually. No, I didn't. But I did go to that and check my answer anyway.
Oh, okay. Fair
A,
enough.
Skin of Evil. B, Samaritan Snare. C, Shade of Grey. Or D, Best of Both Worlds Part 2. It's this brain injection looking thing, this arch with all these things sticking out of it.
I'm fairly sure that
Martinez
nurse pushing it was seen in other roles in Star Trek. I'm certain, or he was a common background actor. Probably, I think he might have been even on Voyager. But
this is Martinez. Don't think too hard about how many episodes you saw him in, because that might relate to a question in a minute.
I'll just shut my damn mouth.
Don't worry about that. But the thing Martinez is holding, what episode was that originally seen? Was it Skin of Evil, Samaritan Snare, Shades of Grey, or Best of Both Worlds Part 2?
While everyone's answering that, do you see the way that the tricorder is clumsily input in to transfer information? There is a close-in shot of it, and you can see that the plastic is warped on it, so the screen is kind of coming off. Not obviously that shot, but there was a close-up shot in the episode where you can see it.
All right, yeah. This is the sort of newer The newer
Yeah, but they
console.
obviously upgraded again in
Mm.
Voyager. But the one they have in Voyager is weirdly it's Kirk's bed from the motion picture, and it has the exact same sides on it. But it's like it's a single bed and it's the shape of a body. So how Kirk ever got up to any of his devilment, shall we say, on one of those things, I don't know. But it got reused for a more correct purpose later. Why they used this one when they had the one that they use in Voyager in storage, I don't know.
I think as well, the sickbay bed, the upper bit where the head laid used to be really thin. The bed started off thick and then went thin around the head. So this scanner thing used to fit over the top of the bed.
Yes,
but
right.
There's no chance of him fitting that over the size of this bed because the sickbay bed's now massive.
Yeah, it was obviously a different bed.
Mm.
They
Dan's
had the
friends with this actor on Facebook, Martinez. I can't remember his name, but that's interesting. Okay, so yes, that's the question. Skin of Evil, Smart and Snare, Shades of Grey, or Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Whilst you're getting answers in, I'll carry on. Oh, no. And I'll keep Tavi happy with another data pick. There you go. On the bridge, they're having no luck finding the source of the infection. Beverly contacts them to say the operation was a success. Yay! They're all good now. All she needs to do now is operate on the forge and everything will be fine. She tries to contact him, but the computer says no. He's no longer aboard. Oh. Though the doctor suspects that he has metamorphosized into a chameleon-like creature that can no longer be seen by the sensors.
I just love the line of action on that jet, that posture he's got there. Look at the spine, and it goes all the way up, and then he's got this nice little bouffant puff in the front.
Excuse me, it's actually pronounced Spiner.
Sean, I love you.
Look at the Spiner.
Yeah,
Brent.
I love you so much, Sean.
All right. They check out the last known position in the holodeck 3, but they only find a torn uniform. In the transporter room, a weird.
That means he's naked.
A weird semi-invisible shape. I love the way that's the way your mind first went, Tammy. That's great. That looks like a predator. It's kind of like that predator-like effect, isn't it? That doesn't do the clicking noises.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh, that's what I need on my stream deck. I need a
You also need a tumbleweed.
Yeah. Both of those will be here next week. I'll get them installed. Attacks the transporter chief and beams itself down to the planet, but just before it disappears off the transporter pad, we can see that Geordie is looking worse for wear. So, yeah, he's seen better days. And that's the end of Act.
At least you can see his eyes.
You can, yeah.
Yeah,
they are radiant.
Mm-hmm.
So the brain injection looking piece of kit, where did we originally, well, was it originally featured? What episode? Was it Skin of Evil, Samaritan Star, Shades of Grey, or Best of Both Worlds Part 2? And Subspace's Guessing C. And Tavona. The D is good. Oh no, is that you guessing D? Or are you guessing C? Are you sure you're not guessing C?
I'm guessing C. It's always C.
Always C.
Or a multiple of 3. Or multiple of 3.
Ruth says C. When in doubt, Stu Plum says C. All those people that said C, Shades of Grey, you are correct. It did go.
The best episode of TNG, yeah.
Yeah, the best episode.
Best ever.
Best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that one.
The clip show at the end of season 1. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it was so bad.
Or was the end of season 1? Because
season 2.
Dana Muldaur was in it. Season 2, yes.
Last episode of season 2.
Yeah, season 2. Sorry, because Pulaski was in it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and Mazma Bob said C as well.
Oh, she got in there. Grand, thank you.
It was right at the beginning. She was quick off the old block.
Okay.
The D was referring to data or a particular part of data that everyone's interested in.
Really?
Yes.
His dentures.
The vitamin. I would love to lick those too, but I'm a bit sick.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
Who you telling?
just
And
visions in my head.
I would be the creep that would have been in Dr. Sung's lab, where all the body parts of like Laura and everything, I'd be like in there like rubbing the ass, be like, oh damn, that's a hard ass.
Damn.
Woo!
Yeah. So that was Act 4. We're on to the final act already, guys. I promised Havykins, as she wasn't feeling too good, that this would be a quick one, and
No.
we're on record time at the moment.
I have a question.
Okay.
Thinking about the model from Data and Lore, do you think Dr. Sung embellished the front half of the lower hemisphere? Or is that actually like, is he so damn cocky because he's actually
Was it a
cocky?
faithful recreation like his face?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Or did he go all out?
well,
Woo!
if I or you were creating a robot android version of ourselves, what would you do? I would straight up go gadget penis that,
Yes.
all over the place.
You go straight to the double Polaroid.
No, just like you know the way you get those batons,
Oh yeah, telescopic.
telescopic. There you go. Yeah.
Oh man, one that actually like gauges the partner you with, so you're always the optimum size. This is going off the rails. I'm gonna stop now. Mute.
Yeah. Does anybody remember that head instrument that Dr. Crusher wore on, I think, Where Silence Has Lease? Yeah, she wore some sort of like old-fashioned like doctor glasses, monocle thing with a head thing, didn't she?
Yeah, those kind of circular head things, they lasted in Hollywood about 30 years longer than they lasted in real life. They just replaced them with lights, because you used to have a light and then you shine it on the little mirror and the mirror will point where you were looking. But they died out. They just got better lights and they go into way. So the idea they'll be using them in 400 years, yeah, not so much.
Who wants to see the figure of the day? There's no points. There's no points to guess this, and it's a really easy one today. It's a really easy figure, but can you guess who this character is?
Oh, that's lore.
I'll just make myself big. Hang on. There we go.
That's the Pac-Led outfit, yeah.
Yes. The sexiest rendition of any of the Sung characters. A delicious, delectable lore. Oh my god.
I thought someone
Evilly.
might guess it was Data, but no. Supreme Panko got excited with that. Yeah, especially for you girls this week. There you go. Have yourself a little lore.
Oh my god, Monty, you did me right today. Oh my god, I love you. Woo!
There you go.
Yes, Lord.
Chewie, that's my paperwork. You're not allowed that bit. No. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Right. Right, we need some more people back on. Where are we? There we go. Right, so onwards with the last act of the evening. Act 5. Let's have it. Act 5 picture. Load. Okay, so Dr. Crusher's research has shown that they have less than an hour to find and treat LaForge, but finding him is proving difficult. Data thinks he can use ultraviolet light to find him, altering a probe. Picard gives Riker the go-ahead to lead the away mission. So in engineering, Data modifies the probe and Worf and Riker plan the away mission. It's weird that they're in a real rush, and yet they've got time to install this new table in engineering.
It's not so new.
Is it? Was it used in the trial set or something like that?
Yeah, it was in Measure of a Man.
Measure of a Man. Yeah.
Monty, you're just doing me right tonight. Jesus Christ. I'm loving all these shots. I'm loving all these. Call it. This is why I am here.
And again, Data proving he is left-handed. Left-handed is in primary
Mm-mm-mm.
position above the right.
Yeah. I don't
He is
don't
delicious.
don't worry, Subspace. Um, I think Chief Sean's already given points
I
out for
I, I, I gave
Q1
I gave points to everyone on question one
because it
for
was
the
so
few latecomers.
super easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subspace. Yeah, yourself and Ruth are level at the moment, so you're both on 100%. So we'll see how you get on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just dishing out the good pictures for you girls this evening. I'll tell you.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm way too worked up.
they're there. He's getting the probe. They're planning the away mission, and then they head off to Transporter Room 6 to beam down to the planet. In sick bay, Lighton, who's now had her operations, feeling much better. And she tells the doctor there wasn't a parasite per se, but an alien species, and this was its method of reproduction. She says they need to go down to the planet and find Geordie, and she is the only one that can do it because she kind of senses where they are. But question 6, so this is the last question of the evening. Nurse Ogawa appears in 16 episodes of TNG, but how many episodes does sickbay's other medic Martinez appear? So yeah, funny how you called that one earlier, Sean.
Yeah, did he play another characters, or was he not? Was he sometimes in a security uniform? The guy's 6 foot. Surely you play him as a security officer. I don't know.
He's actually played loads of
Well,
characters.
Sorry,
like
I say 6 foot.
Klingons.
He's 6'2". He's 6'3". He's a big
played
guy.
security people and Klingons and all sorts of things. But Martinez has appeared in TNG. This actor as Martinez has appeared in TNG this number of times. Was it A, 14, B, 16, C, 18, or D, 84? So how many times does Martinez appear in Star Trek The Next Generation? Was it A, 14, B, 16, C, 18, or D, 84? Yeah. Guess away. So just finishing off. Oh, yes. Wrong browser window. Finishing off Act 5 then. The away team beamed down, including Dr. Crusher and Leighton, and they begin looking for Geordie. Leighton believes that they are right here. They don't have to go far. She feels them all around. So after a little look, they do indeed find them using Data's modified probe.
Honestly, how did they get such a great set and we never see it again? Okay, there's a bit of Planet Hell there. That's a reuse.
Yes,
But
they go around the corner and there's Planet Hell. There you go.
Yeah, that's just Planet Hell. You can recognize it, the steep steps. But the previous shot where I know it's a bit of forced perspective. It's not as big as it looks, but they built it all. They built it in the shuttle bay. It looks so good, and we never see it again.
No, I might say I don't see any evidence that it was ever used in anything else, or that it's ever used again in Star Trek. So
I don't recall it being reused, and well, in one way that's great because it's truly nice that they made it and it's supposed to be a one-off and that they don't try and dress it as something else. But on the other hand, it's like spent all that money and then they went, no, we won't use it again. It's all right.
Yeah. So Geordie doesn't run off with the others. He kind of stays behind because he's half enticed by Leighton, and Leighton tries to appeal to his humanity and eventually talks him around, and he takes her hand, and it's quite sweet. There he is. They have a hug. And they go back to sickbay, and Geordie's given the operation, and he's recovering. Leighton reports to Picard that there's no hope for the others, as they were far too gone. Geordie says that the creature just acts on instinct, so there's no communicating with them or telling them that they can't go procreating with people visiting in this way. So Picard decides that, well, the best thing to do is deploy some warning beacons, so no one else is gonna end up in that situation in the future. And they carry on their merry ways.
And therefore deciding that an entire species shall go extinct.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I imagine they must
Yeah, they
live
evolved
off
on a
of
planet.
on other creatures on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the shades of I think it's called Favorite Son, the episode where Harry Kim thinks he's from a Delta Quadrant race, and there's the shades of Threshold as well, where they all hyper evolve and they start having kids on a planet as well. Yeah, there's definitely the story's repeated in some minor beats in later episodes, but it's truly unique. It's good. It's a good concept.
Yeah, so that's essentially the end of the episode. So, back to question 6. Was it? Has he been in 14 episodes, 16 episodes, 18 episodes, or 84 episodes?
Did we get an answer? Oh, we did. Okay, we have an answers all around. Great. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, have you got your answer in there, Sean?
Yeah, no, yeah, we did. Yeah. Did I put it in the chat?
No. Did you say C?
Oh, hold
Yeah,
on.
you
Sorry,
did,
I made
yes.
a.
I see.
I did say C.
You're
Yeah,
right
yeah.
at the top there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was,
I took a Karen. Sorry, go on. Yes.
It was 84 episodes.
So it was D then.
It was D. Yeah. Which I couldn't believe.
I actually intended to answer D because I was like, that's the other multiple of 3. And Monty has not been kind to us in making sure all of the answers were C. So
sorry. Yeah, but considering that, I always think about Nurse Agawa as being like the, Crusher's right-hand nurse in sickbay. But she was only in 16 episodes. Martinez was in 84. And, I just had a blank on him. But...
yeah, I can't say he ever stuck in my mind at all. I know it's only now rewatching it. I stuck in my head. I was like, that guy's been around. Like, he was a security officer a few times, wasn't he? But it doesn't really make sense for him to be a nurse. But, well, I mean, anyone can be a nurse in terms of their size, and you actually, in real life, you need big burly men to be nurses for like lifting people out of beds and things.
Oh.
But it just, in practice, you think they'd have him as a security officer, just getting shot all the time.
He actually doesn't have a title or rank of nurse. He's sick bay medic Martinez.
Big man.
I mean, there's a couple of people that like Ayala in Voyager. He's in like 80 or 90 episodes, but he gets a name. There's a girl called Lieutenant J, and she goes to all the conventions and stuff in 100 episodes. Never mentioned once on screen, and she's you see her in like 80 episodes of Voyager, but that's it. There's a few of these people.
Yep. So congratulations, anyone that's a D. I think Dan got that right. But being friends with the
only
chap, I'd imagine. I imagine he's probably one of the only ones that knew.
Yeah. He is the only one who got it right, and and that brings him 90 points. So yeah, he's the clear winner, I think, unless there's another question.
No, that's the end of the acts, and that's the ends of the questions. So you're going to have to do some totaling up now, Sean, to make sure you got everybody's totals.
At this point in time, Dan, you're going to get the honorary Kirk yell. Dan!
At least it's not your husband this week, Tavi.
Yes. Oh my God, he hasn't.
I'm going to give you the Alan Partridge. Dan.
Right. I am. Now we've honoured Dan. I'm just bringing up the TNG score sheet. So is that confirmation then? Have we got the who came third?
Sorry, hold on. 90 for Dan.
Who's
which was
on
second?
first?
Who's on first? I came third on 58, and then it was Ruth on second with 70, and Dan with 90.
Dan the man, well done, sir. That is your second win, and that puts you in equal third place with Andrew and Mazima Bob. So, yeah, you've gone into joint third now. So congratulations on that. Let's just confirm there. There's the scoreboard. We've got Mr. Tavikins, Ruth, Mickey, and Sean all in fourth place with 1. We've got Subspace Chatter, Andrew, and Mazima Bob on 2. Tavikins Turner, you're in second place on 5. And Stu Plum is still out in the lead for season 4 on 6 points.
Oh, Stu.
But now, Identity Crisis. What are we scoring this episode out of 10? So if you could put your scores out of 10 in chat, that would be fantastic. And Sean will add it up and divide it by the number to get the average, along with his own score.
Yes. Get on with it, peasant Sean.
And Mazima Bob, if you're still around, if you could...
Yeah. As I said, a couple of nice callbacks, or call forwards in some cases. The headset that the person who's recording is very similar to the media headsets they use in Generations. I already mentioned Threshold, where they go to a planet and they warp and they procreate. And as I said, I want to say it's called Favorite Son, where Harry thinks he's part of a faraway culture and he starts morphing into an alien species. So a couple of little threads that follow up again. But at the time, it was a unique episode, more or less.
So yeah, out of 10, what do you rate the episode? It's a 2 from Subspace Chatter.
Ooh, 2.
Brutal.
That is
That
brutal.
is-
Brutal.
I think that's the
That is
lowest score
savage.
we've had this season for season 4.
That's the G-star scale of scoring.
That is
All
G
right.
Star-esque. I'm getting G Star vibes. Savage.
Yeah, I mean, they're all in the one cell. Remind me to pirate, a Penzance style Excel so I can remember where all the buttons are. Because it's fine if you use it every day. We're trying to remember where sum is on LibreOffice Calc isn't going to happen.
You need to sail the 7 seas with Excel.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
yar. Well, Windows 11 tries to tell you what to do a little bit. It's like that's not a authorized download. You can't install that. It's like, is this my computer or yours? Go away.
Yeah, it's like, but I want to.
Okay, you ready for your scores then? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Doing. So we got a 7, a 7, and a 6. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll go. It was a 7 or a 6 for me. What did Mazza say? Mazza said 7. Tally said 7. And what's the average then with your 7, Sean? And
3 7s and a
Subspace Chatter's
2.
2.
So that's what 23 over 4. So that's
You
16 and
added
a
your
half.
6.
6 point. You got
5.75. So we call it 6.
Okay, 6.
So yeah, averages at 7. So, yeah. So we call it
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
you have it like
that
that.
gives us
6.5,
a score
yeah.
of 6.5.
Yeah. Well, it's 5.75, but you just round it up, don't you, for the audience chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of for this season. It's kind of middling to low middling, I guess.
Dan, you're right. It is. I mean, it's a little bit boring, particularly on the rewatch. If you know what's going to happen, the mystery doesn't really pay off. But I'm mainly giving a point for the continuity in the older uniforms, the makeup, the shooting, the lighting effects, and the the guest set. And they even made the point
Ditto.
of building it in the, as I said, in the shuttle bay / holodeck. So when he
Ditto.
walks into the holodeck, the whole set is there. Just the production of it was very, very good. I probably could have scored it a 6. I've said 7. I'll stick with 7.
I think 6 or 6, 7. I think that's about right. I think
Yeah,
Space
I
Chatter does have a point, as you say. It is kind of rewatching it. It is a little.
The
boring.
story lets it down, but the production is extremely high. So.
I still do get the creeps with the scene where he discovers the.
Yeah, it's a bit like Clues and Night Terrors. They are leaning into the horror genre a little bit, and it works. It works.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rewatch, but the production is so high. It's hard to knock it down too much when they make it look that good. But again, Vinrick, as I said, or Rick as it was known on set, Vinrick Kolba, he's a great cinematographer, or he was a great cinematographer. He's dead nearly 10 years, and the evidence is right there on the screen.
Yeah, there was no
I thought they
reason
did
for
a-
finding the shadows, says Ruth, because
I thought it was
Crusher
good.
had
It was a
already
lot of deductive.
found the problem. Yeah, but I suppose it doesn't actually help solve the problem at the end of the day. It's all done by
That's not,
the Doctor.
that's like the classic argument about Indiana Jones. If he didn't do anything, the Nazis would have found the Covenant, opened it up, and they all would have died anyway. So he actually had no impact in the story whatsoever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose that's true. Yeah, yeah. I thought of that. That's the yeah. But it's a bit like, as you said, that last week's episode with the morgue and where all the bodies sat up. In this time in season 4, they were, I suppose, experimenting more with the sort of slightly darker themes and the sort of horror slant.
I did really like it though, because I didn't feel like before they're really touching on what it's like being in space. It is frightening to be out in a chasm of nothingness and unknowns. No matter how advanced you are, enough of the prank in your entire existence is gone. It's like being underwater in a submarine.
Yeah,
You poke a hole in it, you're done. There's no escape, there's no chance, there's nothingness. You could go insane just by the vacuum of space, and or die suddenly and immediately for no reason. It's just constant all the time. You'd have to be on. It's just, I don't know. I like it that they actually went into the aspect of fear and creepiness in this episode, because I would be wigged out after a while. You'd definitely be in that holodeck for a minute trying to make sure you forget. We're in the void.
I think Solar Space Chat is pointing out another goof moment there in the first scene when they ask the monitor to freeze. You can still see the actors moving.
yeah, that's due to television budget.
Oh,
When you make a film, you're allowed 40, 50 shots, and you can keep doing it. Or you can even do a freeze frame, so like part of the screen is over, and they edit part of the screen to a frozen frame, and then rewind it. But basically, the budget in '91 wasn't there to do that. But there was a way to do it, but it was so expensive, you can't do it on a TV budget.
I thought it was lovely that they went old school and made people just stand there like
and then they
old
showed,
school
and then they
acting.
had to reverse. But like, there is a way of doing it with green screens, and then a pan, and then a reverse, which you could do. Actually, I could do with a modern day PC now, but in 1991 it was an incredibly expensive thing to do. The budget just wasn't there to do it. But yeah, I agree it wasn't perfect. But that's TV acting, on the Delta Flyers podcast, Harry Kim talks about it, and they're always talking about how they say, oh, TV acting isn't as good. But the thing is, when you make a film, you're allowed 40 or 50 takes sometimes. Whereas in TV, 3 takes, and they're like, let's move on. And, if they don't get it right, they just throw it in and they have to move on, because that's the nature of it, because they're making an hour, they're making a half a film every single week for 10% of the budget of a film. It's just not going to hold up. So that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, trailer.
Yeah, okay, trailer. So next week, it obviously is going to be the Nth Degree. Yeah, I had to quickly look that up. I didn't know that off the top of my head. Broccoli. So yeah, let's have a look at the trailer for next week's episode. Sorry, guys. Sean, Terry, you're probably not going to be able to hear the audio on this, but everybody else should.
We're all good. We're all good.
A bizarre accident turns man into machine.
Lieutenant, you are probably the most advanced human being who ever lived.
A new power takes command of the Enterprise.
How do we get him out of there?
We don't. Not without killing him.
And he's sending the crew on a death mission.
We are in danger.
Remove yourself from the computer system. And we have lost computer control.
12 seconds to critical.
Mind Trap on the next exciting episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yep. So that's up next week. It's another good season 4 episode, I think. Barclay episode.
Yeah, Barclay has very, very few appearances in TNG. Less than you think. In fact, he appears more often in Voyager than he does in TNG.
I guess that's right.
Yeah.
But for longer periods of time, or just more often?
I think he was
he's in more episodes.
Towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's just he's in whatever. He's in 4 episodes of TNG and 6 episodes of Voyager or something like that. Hold on, I'll tell you now.
Yeah,
One
he's
second.
just a IMDBing.
No, I'll look it up. Memory Alpha's appearances just to
Ah.
correct, and he's obviously in First Contact as well. But appearance.
I've got a
He's in.
character of the week.
Okay, he's in 5 TNG episodes plus First Contact, and he's in 6 episodes of Voyager.
Oh, it's only just then.
So you can call it a draw if you include the film.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So yes, I think that's it for us this week in Identity Crisis. Hopefully, normal service will resume next week with Mazam Bob coming back. But Ruth, if you want to join us or anyone else wants to join us next week, they're very welcome to do so.
Monty.
Yeah, Ruth.
Yes.
We're always happy to have you.
Toby Gins.
Can you put up the figurine of Laura just one more time?
He's here. He's
Just closer to the camera, please.
Oh, hang on. I've just realised as well. I've still got the backdrop of the Monty Zone. We're not in 10 forward. We're in the wrong. All this time that, and I've had the wrong branding up on screen.
Where are we seeing? The screen in the back.
Yeah, we're in.
Well, it says TNG review show. What do you mean?
I know. Well, we're. Hang on, look. I always have for this season. We're always in 10 forward.
Oh, sorry. The background back. Yeah, I have it. Sorry, didn't understand what you meant.
The wrong background. Yes. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sean, for joining me, and thank you, Tavikins Turner, as always, for joining me in the studio. Thanks to Subspace Chatter for coming along and being his brutally honest self. Thanks to Stu Plum, and thanks to Ruth and Andrew and Karen and Supreme. Panko!
And thanks anyone who watches it back later.
Yeah, and anybody else that might watch
either.
it. Feel free to let us know in the comments if you answered any of the questions correctly. And we will see you next week for the Nth Degree. In the meantime, don't forget to check out Subspace Chatter's podcast on 4:30 on Saturday, probably for another review of the next episode of Lower Decks.
Yeah, I'll be watching that about 12 hours, 10 hours.
Okay, so cheers, guys. See you next week.
Sorry, I'll do the Mazza.